All right, getting ready to start. Second race, Daytona. See if I can get this flag to stop going here. All right. Getting ready to start. There we go. So, like I said, I'm not a broadcaster. Bear with me while we get some of these things figured out, but we're going to get this started. First of all, 137, showing a live broadcast. We've got our roster set up. I'm not going to show you the roster this time because everybody's changes are secret. So we're going to do 2 laps. Our race is going to be, let me go look here. We're doing 100 laps at Daytona. Not 1,000, 100 laps. Oops, let me back up. We've got Daytona Speedway, Oval. We do have full course yellows and lucky dogs on this time. Starting a race at 2 o'clock. We're going to qualify it in the morning. Nice morning, 7 a.m. Let's generate some weather. Don't know what it is. It is what it is. Racing discipline, oval. No incidents, strict. Should be good there. Track conditions are fine. AI opponents, we've got all 32 in there. Let's make sure we got fuel right this time. Cup 80, Ford 80, Camry 80. Should be good. ITA Sim League 1 to 100 is our skill spread. Let's get her going. I'm just waiting to load up here. So I noticed one thing. No, we're good. Okay. I don't know what the 1% means. The skill level is where he said it, so. Interesting. I'm going to go back and look at that afterwards. Let's go ahead and we got qualifying. Should be some folks out there qualifying. So there was something when we booted in, it looked like it was scaling the relative skill. So even though we set the relative skill, so I'm going to go look at that after we get started here and see what's going on there. Get some cameras set up here. While we're doing our qualifying. All right. Looks like we got our drivers just finishing up their qualifying. Make sure everybody's got plenty of time to finish. I believe he's the only one on track. Let's get this started.
You ready to go here? Laps. The track temp is 127 Fahrenheit. The air temp is 85 B33.
I'll leave crew chief on for you just so you can hear a little bit of crew talk. Pace car is moving. Camera is set to most exciting, which isn't very exciting when they're coming out of the pace. See here. I am check my YouTube settings. Told I was not a very good picture.
Gallon remaining. The track temperature is falling. It's now 122 Fahrenheit.
Green flag's out and we're rolling. Not finding any settings I can change on the pictures. I'm showing I'm at 1080p. check a couple more settings, see if I can figure out what's going on with YouTube.
Fastest lap for Durst, 47.00.
Bear with me here a little bit, trying some things to get a better picture quality here for you. I'm not a broadcaster, so.
New fastest lap for Slater, 46.14.
Oh, Pack has caught up to some stragglers. All right, Pack has caught up to some stragglers. We still have one main pack. Let me get a track map up here for you. All right, there you go. Sorry. Thanks for bearing with me. Trying to make the picture better for you guys. Lead pack is putting some cars already down. Have not had any accidents yet. But we did have a question from the audience out there about their car, so let's focus in on a couple cars here. First of all, Dirty Dwayne, there you are. You are in the white and black car. Get you going by here. A little farther away, you got the Junior Motorsports 83 white car. Looks like you're in 10th place right now. Little mini pack. You can see up there on the map. Who is this just flying by? You can see up the relative. You guys are losing, you guys, me too, losing about 3 seconds a lap to the leaders. Little battle up here. These are your leaders. So we got kind of interesting. I'm not sure what's causing this on Daytona. Anytime I've raced Daytona with AI, it's like one big pack, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 packs. The lead pack is 3 cars, 4 cars. Next pack is like 5th through 9th. Dirty Dwayne is 13th, 4 seconds back. We've got a bunch of cars already laps down. Yeah, this is kind of a crazy race here. I'm not sure what's going on or what's causing it. Might have to do a little more investigation as to why we have this variance. Most of the 300 cars that are all lapped down, I kind of understand. Those are the 65 RS, but everybody else was, 80 plus, relatively close. So I'm not sure what's causing iRacing to do this. We are 80% fuel, so there will be some pits here. We're 14 laps in. There's been no incidents or wrecks, but the pack is just all split up. All right, so I'm not sure what's going on here with this. This is certainly not what I would have expected from a super speedway race, where we've got kind of the top four with a 6-second break over, looks like 5th through 12th, and then 13th, through 18th, and all this crazy stuff. I'm going to let this run out. I'm going to let the sim do its job and see what happens, but when it's over, I think I'm going to have to do a little more research. Like I said, I didn't do any testing on super speedways, in part because I've raced AI and it all stays in one big pack. So really just getting some kind of weird stuff here that I was not expecting. And want to wait and see. 3 wide at least, got some exciting racing. Want to wait and see if I can do a little more research as to why this pack is so split up. I was honestly expecting 2 packs, kind of all the user-created drivers, and then another pack of the standard rated drivers. Another question from our audience out there. Let's see, Luke, let me find you guys. Luke, you are the number 810. Let me give you a chase cam here. Maybe the 810, you've got a red car. Looks like iRacing. Is it iRacing up there on the hood? Let's see what we've got here. Nope. Safety equipment. Parker in 22nd place. You are running Miller Tech, also red and black. Yeah, Dwayne, I agree. These fuel saving. I hadn't thought about that. We're at 80% fuel. I don't know what a fuel run is off the top of my head, so maybe that's a pit strategy. Like I said, we're gonna let this play out and see why they're doing this, if there's a reason or if it's just stupidity. And so we will find out together as the race rolls on. There have been no incidents so far, no incident points at all. my memory serves, somewhere around that 40 mark is a standard next-gen fuel run at Daytona, and we're at 80%, so somewhere in the mid-30s would be my guess. Yeah, our leader's out to a 1-second lead all by himself. Not sure how that happens at a super speedway. I think iRacing's a little funky. And my track map will stop, which usually means my overlays are not working at all. All right, bear with me here a minute. My overlays were stopped working. I'll try and reset them.
Track temperature's decreasing. It's now 118 Fahrenheit.
All right, everything's back for you to see. Oh, we've got a car pitting. We are 28, 29 laps in, so this will be the first set of pits. Let's see what happens here. This is creating a really weird result. I'm going to let this finish out and then go look at a couple things post-race and make sure we're getting the kind of sim that we want. It may just be like Dwayne was saying, maybe there's some fuel saving, something going on, or maybe the sim's just really jacked. We're going to have to wait and see. But we did have some cars come into pit. Mike Hunt is pitting this time around. We have no takers. So either Mike's being super safe or everybody else is doing a little fuel saving, because we are 30 laps in on this fuel run. So Dwayne asked how he kind of made up all that time, got in the lead lap. My overlays froze at some point during that early part of that broadcast. So what you were seeing, that delay, was not live. And now we're getting some more pits here. So I think it was just a case of the overlays not accurately depicting that. Or the front cars had to check up for something. I don't think there have been any incident points yet, but we are starting to see some pitting coming on. So I do think, a lot of cars obviously at pit. It's a 100-lap race. The goal here would be to make it 33 laps. I'm wondering now if we're seeing a bunch of them come in, if that's exactly what was going on. Some of these smarter pit crews were fuel saving and trying to make it 33 laps to cut a pit. And some others are just out there flying. Let's see how we come out of this first pit cycle. More cars coming into pit. We are now 33 laps in. We've still got 3 or 4 cars that have made it and not pit yet. Cautions are on, so obviously a caution could ruin pit strategy, but we do not have a caution for total incident points like we did at the road. So this will only be accidents that would cause a caution. We are 33 laps complete. We're on lap 34. We still have 3 cars that have not yet pit. 2 of them are 2 laps down, so I'm not sure what that's doing. But there's one 5 seconds back, Duke Silver, the 67, who's got to be pitting this time. See him coming down. Oh, Duke ran out of gas, I think. Duke is back there on the apron. Let's go to Duke. No, that wasn't him. Somebody else was down on the apron. Duke Silver, I am showing, has not yet pit. I don't know if that's correct. Maybe my overlay just messed things up and he pit earlier, because we're showing him in 6th place.
Ahead is pitting.
Not yet pit. And he didn't pit this time. We must have missed it somewhere in our overlays. He probably pit earlier than everybody else. Ed Jurgen up here is, I'm sorry, Jurg, our driver Jurg is up there in front. He does have a pusher behind him, but he is all by himself in terms of the leader. We got Dusty Dwayne and his pack, Chris Wold, Dirty Dwayne, and Duke Silver. They are all just rolling here. Their own little 4-car pack. Drop back to El Guapo. We just had... See what happens here. Jurg. Mike Hunt just came from nowhere. And passed the leader to take the lead. He had a lap 2 seconds faster. That must have been a draft lap, obviously. He must have been the tail end of the lead pack draft, was able to swing by him and get to the front. He's now being pushed by Jurg. This pack here, this 7th, this pack here with it's mostly lap cars with El Guapo in it, and they are flying. They are a second faster than almost everybody. Well, they were the previous lap. This lap, not so much. El Guapo pit lap 30. We've got several cars that pit 28, lot 30, 31, and just a few that made it to 33. Lone Star and Zype are the only ones that made it to 33. All right, I'll switch around a little bit. I had it just set on most exciting. iRacing thinks this pack is the most exciting, so it hasn't really varied off of them. Certainly been no incidents or wrecks yet. Jurg is our leader. We had something happen here. This pack came up on the pack behind. And just created some passing here.
The leader, Durst, is pitting.
Leader. Pitting, I was wrong. So let's go down. We've got Ed Jurgen here in the 092, running around with some lap cars. Then behind him, so there's Ed there. Right behind him, we got Mike Hunt running with some lap cars. Duke Silver, Dirty Dwayne. Oh, just a little checkup. Somebody got loose. So Duke Silver, Dirty Dwayne, Chris Wald, all in that pack. And then it's 23 seconds back behind the leader. Bucky Goldstein, Potator, in with a pack of lap cars. El Guapo back here with a bunch of lap cars. They were turning some really fast laps earlier, not so much now. We got Luke back here all by himself. Can't be doing any fuel saving. Dusty Dwayne by himself. Lone Star, last car on the lead lap, because that's the leader pushing him right behind. Bunch of cars, one lap down. But Lone Star's last lap, he was just flying with Jurg pushing him. Dwayne, I had those problems with my overlays. It's showing Duke did not pit. I suspect he actually pit before I got the overlays fixed. So he probably pit, lap 25 or something like that, if I had to guess. Not sure exactly when, but I think that's what happened. I think he pit early. Biggest movers of the race, Chris Wold, 5th place. He is up 18 spots in that yellow number 32. He's pushing Parker B, just the two of them, running pretty good lap times. There's one pack that's running faster, but he's actually cruising pretty good. Lone Star up 10 spots in the number 76. Biggest loser in terms of places, Mr. Scott Negus, who is down 15 spots. Come around the corner here, number 94. He is down 14 spots, just gained one back. He does have some momentum, might be able to get some back, but he's been our biggest drop of the day so far. Duke Silver's in the pits now. We are on lap 50, so that goes back to kind of what I was saying is I think he pit before I had to reset the overlays. He is in the pits now. He had to drop out. We'll see where he comes out. So that gives Ed Jurgen solo lead with some help from a lap car. 4-second lead over Mike Hunt, followed by Dirty Dwayne, Chris Wald. We do have some more cars coming in the pits.
Track temperature's decreasing. It's now
Patrick Stein rolling into the pits. Look at that track map. You can see the leaders just flying, how quickly they caught up to this pack with that draft. That draft really pulled them in. Now the leader's trying to go around this pack and put more cars a lap down. So Jurg is our leader, but he pit lap 30. So he is definitely not going to make it on fuel to do a 2-stop. Whereas we've got cars that were 32, 33 laps, who 32 maybe, 33, I mean, even they are going to have to stretch it a little bit. And then we got a lot of cars that are just at that 31, which is kind of in between, kind of nowhere. So they're going to either have to haul ass and make up some time or do some super saving. Jurg's actually in a really good position here. He's, third in line, fourth in line on the bottom. Great place to save some fuel, try to make up for the fact that he pit earlier than some of those guys in that group. Still no incidents, no wrecks, no anything. But we are coming up on we're completing lap 58, so we'll be coming up on the next set of pit cycles. Let's see who was able to save enough fuel to maybe remove a pit from their strategy. Got 13 cars on the lead lap. Jurg with a 7-second gap. Jurg and Wold between the two of them. Jurg has a 22-second gap on third place. Just driving his brains out, but he also pit lap 30. So the two guys way out front, Jurg with a 22-second lead, Chris Wold with a 9-second behind Jurg, and they pit lap 30. Chris Wold's coming in the pits now. So this drive your butt off out front is not working for them. We'll see if it can work for him. We'll see if it can work for Jurg, if he can build up enough of a gap to then pit at the end for a splash of fuel and win this race on pure speed. Our leader caught on to the cars in front of him and is just cruising behind on these lap cars, and I'm assuming saving fuel. All right, first incident of the race. Let's go back and see if we can see what happened to the 301 of Michael Crump. Let's see here. Oh, I don't know. Let me back it up again. I don't know if... Oh, just a pit incident? Maybe coming out of the pits? Did he self-spin? I'm not sure what happened. It just shows he had an incident. Keep watching here, see if something happened. Maybe he's just going so slow they thought it was an incident, because that is a pretty slow exit there. Oh, look at, you can see the guys that are fuel saving versus those that aren't. Almost caused a wreck, but you can see that difference in speed between the fuel savers and those that are not. And these cars, yeah, these guys, I don't know, maybe they even almost ran out of fuel because they are backing up to try and pit. Ed Jurgen, meanwhile, he's lost the most of his fuel-saving crowd. His gap's down to 18 seconds. So he is heavy fuel-saving now. Trying to turn a couple extra laps. We are 64 laps in. This is his lap 64. Probably needs to make it to 67 in order to finish the race. Without another pit, but we'll see. All right, we are on lap 66. 67 for the leaders, sorry. 66 for those a lap down. And Scott Negus is coming out of the pits right now. Scott should be able to make it the rest of the way. If he saves, continue saves, get 33. I don't know that anybody else can make it. Jurg pit lap 64. I don't think he can make it. So I kind of feel like everybody's got one more stop, except maybe Scott Negus. It looks like Ed Jurgen knows he's going to have to pit because he's out there leading this pack. He's not worried about fuel. He's just trying to run the fastest laps he can.
The track temperature's decreasing. It's now 110 Fahrenheit. The leader, Durst, is pitting.
All right, Jurg is back in the lead. Dusty Dwayne was in the lead, just pit. Jurg has a 12-second gap on Duke Silver, who pit lap 49. Dirty Dwayne, who pit lap 57, is 22 seconds back. Chris Wald now 21 seconds back. So I don't know, Dwayne, I don't know if that's an issue of Dwayne's pointing out that the overlay is showing the wrong lap they pit. I don't know if it's showing the lap they pit based on the lap they're on or the leader. We got cars laps down, or I don't know if the overlay is freaking out because I'm not a driver and it's just popping around. So could be just some weird stuff going on with the overlay, but I think we'll see as this comes to an end here. 28 laps left. I think that everybody's going to have to pit again Possibly there's a couple that won't. Certainly Dirty Dwayne made it. I believe he made it the farthest. Mike Hunt, pit lap 70. He's 34 seconds down. He should not have to pit. Dwayne saying he thinks we need to add 4 to all these, so if that's the case, then that would be wrong. We'll just have to let it play out and see. Bad overlay information. Duke Silver just coming out of the pits. I will say, if you look at these pit stall times, anywhere from 7.9 for Ryan, 7.9 to 10. Everybody's just fuel only, or probably 2 tires, probably right side tires, my guess. So at least the pit crew chief is making some decisions. I'm not going to say right or wrong. I guess if they can get the fuel they need and out with under 16 seconds, it's definitely faster to do fuel only or 2 tires. We are less than 20 to go. Ed Jurgen now with a 7-second lead over Dusty Dwayne. 21-second gap to Dirty Dwayne. Got 13 cars on the lead lap. Biggest mover is still Chris Wold with that 18 position jump up to 5th. Followed by Lone Star, who's right there with him. 15 position jump. 14 now. Back to 15. They're battling side by side. So it feels like there was definitely some strategy that came into play here, because early on we were like 9 different packs all spread out. Now we're starting to group back together here at the end for the final push. And I have to assume just it was a fuel saving strategy that they were trying to implement. All right, starting to see some of that secondary pit strategy come into play. Dirty Dwayne pit, he's coming out now. Luke P pit coming out now. 12 to go. We'll see how this pit strategy works out for the rest of them.
The track temperature is falling. It's now 106 Fahrenheit.
Dirty Dwayne's pit time 5.9, definitely fuel only. Same with Luke B at 6.4, Celeste with the 6 second. So these last pit stops are fuel only, just taking a splash of fuel, heading back out. Let's see what Ed Jurgens is when he comes in, if he has to stay in longer to get more fuel. Duke Silver was in for 7.9, Mike Hunt for 8.4. So these guys are definitely putting more fuel in it. All right, leaders coming in for the pit. Potater was in third, I believe, is coming in to pit. El Guapo pitting. Let's see how long these guys spend in the pits. Here's Jurg coming out of the pits now, holding first place, but Dusty Dwayne, you see right there on the track behind him, is going to definitely pull in behind him, if not pass him. He passes him for the lead. Dusty, I'm showing pit on lap 71. Jurg was only in for 4 seconds, so didn't need much fuel. But Dusty Dwayne, pit lap 71, should not have to pit if that's right. Now our leader by 1.5 seconds over Jurg, followed by Duke Silver. We also have a lot going on in the background here. Dirty Dwayne, 7th place, pit 86. He will not have to pit again, but he is 40 seconds behind the leader. Looks like he's pushing Scott Negus to try and get some draft and go, but as you can see on the board, the dude is flying green to almost the entire board. Look how close he is pushing the 94 of Scott Negus. Ed Jurgen has caught Patrick Stein and looking to make a pass. Dusty Dwayne is about half a second ahead. The battle for the lead. Dusty, I think, should be able to make it. Shouldn't have to pit. Seeing the last of the pit cycles, I believe. Maybe 1 or 2 cars that need to pit. With 4 to go. Colby Tucker, Scott Negus in the pits. This is the battle for the lead right here. Dusty Dwayne in front of in front of Jurg, but Jurg is catching him quick. Let's see what Jurg does when he catches him. Just pushes him. They've got a 12-second gap on 3rd place. Dusty slingshots around a lap car. Jurg doesn't do quite as good a job. Now loses a little bit of that gap, but he is making it up quick with that draft. Couple cars coming back in the pits. Bucky Goldstein, who just pit a couple laps ago, I thought, is back in the pits. There's 2 to go. Dr. Johnny Fever goes to the outside. Does Jurg push him to gain the advantage? No, he just ducks in behind Dusty. They both go by. Can Jurg make a final push as they come to the start finish for the white flag? And coming to the start finish, it's Dusty Dwayne,
Durst took
Jurg, Duke Silvers, 12 seconds back. Mike Hunt by himself in 4th place, still in turn 3. Potater and Dirty Dwayne having a battle here coming to the line. Those are the last cars on your lead lap. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to do a little review, do a little checking. I'll get some results posted. We'll go from there. Thank you.
Robert, ahead is pitting.